for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I do my custom baby bottom for your cloth bodies. This one in particular is a cuddle baby, but the body's the same, so you can use it on the ones with the vinyl limbs as well. And what this is a separate little pouch that I put in the bum of the baby to give it some weight and a nice squishy realistic feel when we're holding them. This is the doll I'm doing. This is Rosie by Seacrest Dolls. I just finished her up. I just rooted the eyelashes yesterday. She's got a magnetic hair bow if she's gonna be chosen to be a girl. If not, I think she also works as a boy at the pacifier. So this is gonna be a cuddle baby. So I do have my cloth body from Bountiful Baby. They're really nice. They have jointed limbs, so they're gonna be superposable. It's super cuddly. And this custom bottom that I do just adds to that. The supplies that you'll need are your glass beads or whatever you use to add the weight. By the way, these containers are great. I get these when I get sugar at the store and I keep them, and has a nice pouring spout. So those are real great to store your glass beads. And this isn't necessary, but I do like to add these. These are silicone, they call them baby fat pellets. They're squishy. I do a mix of this and the glass beads, but you can certainly just use glass beads if that's what you have on hand. These are pretty pricey, so I don't use a lot of them. And I really like the mix when you mix it with glass beads, because then you get your weight and that squishy feeling, and they're really fun to play with too. Put her things over there. You'll need your stocking, whatever you're using for your weight pouches, scissors, and I use thread, and I'll show you where we use that coming up here. You could also use like a small thin rubber band too if you don't have thread. I do start with a full sock. You can use a half one, but the reason I like a full one, and I'll show you later, is because I like to be able to fold over the top of the stocking to kind of soften off any knots. So have your cloth body with you so you can gauge about the size that you're gonna need for your bottom. And the first thing I'll do is add some glass beads, and I'm just gonna eyeball it for now and adjust it as needed. So add a bit of glass beads, and then come in with some of my silicone baby fat pellets. And this is just a trial and error, so I'll mix them up inside the bag, inside the stocking rather, and I kind of hold it up to my baby body and see if it's about the same right size. I'm gonna add some more. A little more glass beads, a little more baby fat pellets. And I kind of like divide it a little bit because that's what we will be doing, just to see how that sits in there. And I think that's about right. That's kind of personal preference too, you know, make it about smaller or bigger, whatever you feel. I think that's good. So before I tie it off, it's just a little easier, I'm gonna mix up my glass beads and pellets. Dogs are gonna start making noises here, sorry about that. Don't tie it super tight, like give it just a little bit of room, because we are gonna be separating this, so you want room to be able to move them around just a bit. And tie it off securely. And the next step, this takes a little bit of practice too, or a little bit of fiddling with it rather. I'm gonna get myself a piece of string. I have quilting thread here because it's extra strong, but any thread will work. Now I'm gonna play around with it a little bit until I can get this two sides divided equally. These are going to be the two cheeks of your baby butt. Sometimes that's a bit harder than it looks to get it just right, but you have some wiggle room even after you tie it, and you kind of move it around. So now I'm going to just wrap my thread around. I'm not going to pull it super, super tight because I don't need it to be like that. Just a little bit of a flat separation. And I'm just going to wrap my thread around and tie it securely. Clip off my ends. And looks good. And to kind of, those knots sometimes bother me. You could always sew it into place, but you should take the time to do that. So I'm just going to cut off a couple inches above where I would actually have to, above the knot, and I'm just going to pull that down over top. And you could either put another piece of string. You could probably actually do this before you put the thread around too. I'm just going to tuck it under. That just puts a little bit of fabric over the knot. You probably wouldn't notice it anyway, but, and adjust your stuffing if you need to keep it equal. Cute little butt. And then when you're doing your stuffing, and I won't go through the whole stuffing of the body, but I'll show you how you put this in. You just drop it into the baby's bottom, move it around till it feels about right. You're gonna line that thread up with the separation, and then you can put, excuse me, your stuffing. I'll just do this for an example. You might have another weight pack that you're putting in the front or the belly. I usually put a little bit of stuffing down at the bottom before I do that. I don't put any stuffing between the butt and the pack because I want to be able to feel that. But you certainly could if you wanted a little cushioning. A quick tip when you are stuffing your dolls or any kind of craft project that you do, you don't want to take your stuffing right out of the bag and then just put it in because it's often clumpy together. The correct way to do it is to pull your stuffing apart first. It takes a little extra time, but it's gonna keep it from being lumpy. So really fluff it up before you put it into your baby. And all stuffing will settle over time. That's to be expected. So you put a little extra in. So then you have nice even fluff. You won't get any lumpy pieces in there. So that's just a quick tip to take your dolls to a professional, high quality level. An extra step. And when you're putting your stuffing in, that'll hold that baby bottom in place. And I would be putting another weight sack in about this time, or my silicone belly insert, which I do a lot of those, so I get a nice squishy belly, baby belly. And as you're putting your additional stuffing in, it'll hold these in place. You might have to do some final adjustments. But there you go, that's all it takes to get an extra level of quality and attention to the details of your baby. And super cuddly when you're holding it. It just sits so nicely in your hand. Very realistic. Probably most you can do on a cloth body to get as close to realism as possible. All right, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you give it a try, what you thought about your custom baby bum. Have a great day.